How to end any addiction by rewiring your brain. Okay, I've used this method before to clear my marijuana addiction, my nicotine, vape addiction, as well as a porn addiction. Okay, it's a very effective method and it's biological, it's physiological. If applied right, it can't fail. Okay, it is processes going on in your brain. It can't fail if you apply these steps correctly. Okay. So just some background on your brain, okay? Your brain is made up with a bunch of neural connections, neural networks, okay? And these develop through different experiences, okay? So you've experienced this addiction before, and so it's become habitual. Your brains have made these connections, and your brain, your body gets uncomfortable. I apologize for the wind, by the way. It gets uncomfortable when you're not completing these habits, okay, because your brain is so wired for them. All right, so then your brain sends a signal to your body, and that's what you know as urges. Okay, you have the urges. All right, let me just go get one more hit, let me do it one more time, and then boom, you're back in the mix again. Okay, so we need to dismantle these neural networks in your brain, the ones that are hinged for addiction. Okay, we need to rewire them for the opposite. Okay, which is not having an addiction. It's being free and clear of your addictions. It's being your regular self, okay? So the first step is identifying with a new self. What are your beliefs? What are your thoughts towards these addictions, okay? So for example, let's say you're addicted to nicotine, to vaping, and you want to stop. You've tried, but you can't. You always go back to it. Ask yourself, do you identify as an addict? Do all the people around you see you as a nicotine addict? Okay. You always have the vape on you, you're always hitting, you're always telling people, yeah, I'm addicted, I'm trying to stop, but I can't do it. You're telling yourself you're an addict, okay? Don't undermine this step. I know that this step sounds all wazoo, but these neural networks develop from your beliefs, from your thoughts, from how you feel, okay? So it's still physiological. It's just more of a mental step rather than a physical step. We still have a physical step coming up, okay? But this one is one of the most important. It's your beliefs towards yourself. You have to identify no longer as an addict, as a person who's free and clear of their addictions, okay? So, how do you do that? Just see yourself as someone who no longer smokes. Okay, view yourself as that. Don't count the days of how many days you've been sober. Don't get angry at yourself when you break your sobriety, okay? Because anytime you go on this path of sobriety, right, you're a week or two in, these neural networks, they're starting to pull apart, okay? And the moment you smoke again, they get reconnected, okay? And it all depends on how you react to the experience, okay? If you get angry, you're going back to the vibration of, fuck, I'm an addict, man, like, whoa, I'm a loser, I can't do this, okay? You broke your sobriety, it is what it is. Continue moving on and identifying as someone who's not an addict, okay? To some extent, you need to be delusional, okay? I apologize about the wind again, guys, but to some extent, you need to be delusional. You need to see yourself as someone who's not an addict, and not that you don't put your focus on not smoking. You put your focus on anything that brings you happiness aside from that, okay? Like, what I'm trying to say is don't focus on the things you don't want. Focus on things you do want, okay? So don't focus on, I don't want to be a smoker. Focus on, I'm no longer a smoker. I'm free of smoking. I'm free, okay? No longer an addict, okay? So it's a bit of a mindset shift. That's step one. Step two, this is a physical step, okay? You need to stop hanging out with people that practice this addiction, okay? This, I can't stress how important this is. If you're surrounded with smokers, for example, and this applies to any addiction, you're surrounded by smokers. You guys are mixing and matching your vibrations. You Vibration, okay, some people don't believe in the laws of words. Electromagnetic field. This is scientific proven. We all emit an electromagnetic field, and when you're surrounded with people and you're communicating with them, you're hanging out with them, you're spending time with them, your electromagnetic fields are interacting with each other, merging. You're picking up things from them, they're picking up things from you. But if you're hanging out with 5 smokers, more than likely your habits are being overtaken, they're being influenced by these 5 individuals, compared to if you're hanging out with 5 individuals who aren't addicted to smoking. Understand? They're not addicted to smoking. Maybe they were addicts in the past and they're better now. They're there to help you. They're there to push you. They're there to hold you accountable. They're there to tell you, no, you don't need to go back to the cigarette. You don't need to go back to the weed. You don't need to go back to the porn. You're better now. You're improving. They're there to hold you accountable. And by spending time with these individuals, okay, you start getting influenced by them. The same way you get influenced by surrounding yourself with addicts. And so, as time passes by, you start to pick up on these individuals' habits, and before you know it, your addiction's gone. Okay? And this ties into the mindset shift. If you hang out with addicts, what do people see you as? Okay? If your group of friends, your best friends are bums, what do you see yourself? What do people see you as? Okay? I'm sure you're ashamed to tell your family members, yeah, my best friend's an addict, because they view you as one of them. Okay? And I'm sure you'd be happy to tell, your friends and family that your best friends are doctors, although, I don't believe in pharmaceuticals and whatnot, but you get what I'm saying. They're highly respected in society. You tell your family that your best friends are lawyers. They're doctors, they're successful people. You feel good about yourself. People view you as one of them. Versus you tell them you hang out with bums that go to jail and they smoke weed all day and they sell drugs, right? So it ties into how people view you, how you view yourself. Okay? Not only that, but you're picking up habits from these people. So you need to stop hanging out with these people. But Sev, these are my best friends. I've been hanging out with them all my life. So what's more important to you, man? Change or hanging out with these bums? Okay, maybe you have been hanging out your whole life. Okay? But some friends aren't willing to make that change. They're not willing to, jump off the cliff with you, per se. Okay? And if that's how it is, then that's how it is. And you have to decide. You have to make a decision. You've made it this far into the video because you're pretty serious about ending this addiction. Okay? It seems as if. So, what's more important to you? Staying in your past habitual ways, or reinventing yourself, and finally getting the things that you want? Okay? You need to ask yourself this. And you need to ask yourself this every time you're getting urges. Okay? Same thing. Anytime you're getting urges, just pause in the moment. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, bro, what do I value more? Going back to my old ways and not getting the changes that I want in life? Or reinventing myself, getting the things that I want, becoming a new person, feeling a new way, becoming happy, right? Doing the things you want. What is more important to you? You value one thing or the other. And so if this reinventing yourself thing is more important, then let that be your driving force to not fall back into the urge. Allow the neural connections in your brain to continue dismantling themselves, okay, until they no longer exist in your brain. And that's when you're free from addiction. You no longer care. There could be people smoking cigarettes on you and you just, doesn't bother you. You don't mind because you're no longer an addict, okay? And just so you guys have proof about this neural connection thing, right? Let me make sure the mic is on, okay. Just so you have proof about this neural connection thing. Let's say one viewer is a cigarette addict, one viewer is a weed addict, one viewer is a pornography addict, like a masturbation addict. Okay, but they're not the other. This one guy is only addicted to porn, and this one guy is only addicted to cigarettes, and this one guy is only addicted to marijuana. Why are they not addicted to the other things? Why are they only addicted to those things, the individual? Because they don't have the neural connections in their brain to be addicted for those other things. Why aren't you addicted to heroin? Why are homeless people on the streets addicted to heroin? Because the homeless people on the streets have the neural connections in their brain. They have these networks that have developed for heroin addiction. But you don't have that. So you're not addicted to heroin. However, you have a different neural connection in your brain. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So it all comes down to breaking apart, dismantling these networks in your brain and reinventing yourself, okay? Continuing feeding that belief that you're no longer an addict, you're free. And so these neural networks in your brain will start to fall apart, okay? And you will eventually become free. Think about a lot of you guys, I'm sure, a lot of people that are watching this are practicing breaking free from their nofap addiction, okay? From their pornography addiction. Why do you think you go on a streak and you break it and then boom, you're back in the mix and you're doing it again night after night after night? Because you reinforced those. When you broke the addiction, when you broke the streak, you reinforced the neural networks and boom, it's back. It's all tight again. And you're angry at yourself. You're reacting in a poor and negative manner. Why did I break it? Fuck. I'm gonna lose all my gains, blah, 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 blah. No, man. If you break it, it is what it is. I can't change the past. You can't change the past, okay? Continue moving forward. Continue freeing yourself from this addiction. Do not react in a negative manner. It's only gonna reinforce those neural networks stronger and harder, okay? And this is how you have to adopt. This is how you have to live in this new lifestyle, in this new way, if you want to free yourself from the addiction, okay? It's literally those two steps. One's the mental, one's the physical, okay? Some additional things you can do is get an accountability partner. Now, that was kind of included in the hanging out with a new group of people and leaving the old friends, but maybe tell one of your friends, a designated friend, who asks you every day or checks up on you once a week, whatever. How's your progress this week, man? How did you do? Did you break this? Did you do that? And you have to be very honest with each other, okay? And it can go a long way. Have that friend confiscate things from you. Have an agreement where if this friend sees you with the vape, they grab it and they throw it away. We have done that in our friend group in the past. And now, the friend we did that with is no longer addicted to vapes. You understand what I'm saying? So, and same thing with nofap. If you're addicted to porn, go sleep over at your friend's house for a whole week. I know damn well you're not going to be watching porn while you're sleeping in the same room as your boy. Okay? And especially when that boy is your accountability partner. Alright? So seek help. Don't be afraid to seek help. Don't be afraid to tell your closest people, okay, that you have a problem and you have to overcome this problem. And you want to overcome this problem. And yeah, it comes down to perception. How do you perceive yourself? How do others perceive you? Okay. It comes down to sharing electromagnetic fields with the wrong people. Okay. So the bums, the addicts, the ones that allowed you to develop this addiction. You need to leave these people. You're not going to free yourself from addiction by continuing hanging out with these individuals that got you into them in the first place. You have to let those people go. And I can tell you a story of an old best friend that I had. Okay, this best friend always had weed on him, and we would always smoke weed. Anytime I saw him, he always had weed on him. And I told him, like, dude, I'm trying to stop this addiction. Maybe you should too. Blah, blah, blah. And he didn't want to. And it went on for like months. I continued smoking weed because I couldn't end the addiction. And at some point, I realized it's either this guy climbs up the mountain with me or I leave him behind. Because he's not serving me well right now. Okay? I'm trying to break out of it, and it's like he has a chain shackled to my foot, and he's just holding me down with an anchor at the bottom. That's how it feels. That's how it felt for me. And I had a talk with him, and I told him, this is how it is, man. We need to either stop hanging out, or you need to stop smoking weed, and we need to end this addiction together. He didn't want to. We continued smoking, and we're no longer friends. I wish him the best. But the moment I stopped surrounding myself with him and some of the other guys that were all smoking weed, guess what? I got free and clear from my addiction, and I have never gone back to it. I've been offered so many times, I'm okay, man. I'm done. I'm never going back to that old way. The old way that was toxic for myself, that was slowing me down. It's not hard anymore. Someone can walk up to me with a free pound of marijuana with all the vapes in the world. I just don't identify myself. I don't see myself as someone who partakes in those things anymore, who practices those things anymore. And I can never see myself going back to those things. I am a new person. And it's been years since I've touched any of those things. And just put it in perspective, guys, I'm 21. But I've dealt with my fair share of things. I've been addicted to porn in the past. And I've overcame these addictions. Okay? By doing what I told you in this video. Okay? I've walked the talk. I don't like to preach things that I haven't practiced myself. I don't practice that, okay? Maybe there's other creators out there who post videos on things they haven't practiced before. But I've gone through it. I know what you're feeling right now, man. Okay? Or girls. Whoever's watching this. I know what you're feeling. It's not easy, but it's possible. And the beautiful thing is that anything is possible. You can attain anything you want in this life. Anything that you can perceive in your mind, you can get. So, this addiction, you can end it. Alright, and feel free, guys. I have Instagram in my description, and I should probably open a Discord, which I'll open a Discord soon. But feel free to reach out to me there, guys. Free of charge. I'll talk to you guys. Maybe if I have time, we can FaceTime and we can talk about this. Maybe I could be your accountability partner. I'd love to do that for you guys. And I'd love to help you guys, okay? So, that's all I have for you. And I want to show you guys this beautiful view since the video is kind of over now, but we have this going on. I like coming up to mountains and filming. I apologize for any of the wind noises. Okay. Tried my best, but it's a windy day today. And I'd like to continue filming videos like this in this setting, guys. And I really hope you gain value from this. And it makes me happy to see that the few people that are watching this are doing well. I only have 260 subscribers, but when you guys comment that something's helped you, it makes me really happy. Okay, because that's truly what I do this for. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video. Appreciate you for watching, and I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Okay? Have a beautiful day.